any organization, even a scientific organization or something like NASA, it's essentially a distributed intelligence. So it combines multiple humans which have their own brains, have their own minds, experiences, thoughts, and expertise. And the sum is more than any of them, right? Together, they're able to create huge achievements, solve big problems, and launch people to different planets and stuff. No single human would be able to do something like that. So the aim of AGI would be to solve bigger and bigger problems, because ideally, it's so smart that it could actually say, okay, to solve global warming, you need to do this, this, and this. And it would know it for a fact because it would be able to model all the existing factors on the planet. Imagine, there's essentially an infinite amount of them as far as any human concerned, right? We aren't able to detect what's causing what with precision because there's too much information, too many variables. But this AGI, which again would be God-level intelligence, because right now the factors that are causing stuff, that are making things move in a certain way, they're existing on this planet right now, right? So it only takes a matter of somebody noticing it and realizing it and seeing, okay, you need to put this here to put this here, right? It's just one big complex Rubik's Cube. But it's so complex that something like AGI would be needed to solve that type of problem. And the same as for every other, global problem that we have. We could task it with solving poverty because it's a complex, multidimensional problem of what do you actually do? Because it's not as simple as just build these houses, give these people money. The money has to come from somewhere. It has to be a sustainable system. So
right,
it would be able to work on stuff like that.
But on that, let's just talk about the idea of solving poverty. Well, what if the AGI figure out, there's too much human corruption causing this problem, so that has to be solved. So what's the next intelligent decision? Then it start affecting actual people, right? It's like, well, to solve this, you must.
This is where its interface with how we govern ourselves will need to be figured out as well. It's the governance problem because essentially, easily we could say an existing company like Meta, invented that type of algorithm. Well, now we still have the existing world with all its political systems, with all this corruption, with all its power structures that are interested in maintaining their power. And if Meta invents this algorithm that says, here is the 50-step plan to solve poverty in the world. All you need to do is for these power structures to share their resources and power. That could be part of the equation. Then the question becomes, who wants what? Do these power structures? Because that's where we go back into politics, right? Because at that point, this is what's going to happen. These power structures and politicians will say, no, this is evil. This will only bring ruin to us. Because that's all politicians do. They've always only done that. They just say stuff they say propaganda to influence people's minds towards benefiting them, benefiting the existing power structures. That's all they've ever done, and they will do the same thing here. So something will need to happen on a cultural level. And again, the power will need to shift to not the masses exactly, but to people smart enough to understand that we need to do this. I think it's a common problem because if you take into account any scientists who are so smart that they figured something out, they have a problem of kind of explaining and bringing this knowledge to the rest of the humans. This is a trouble of the genius. Imagine you are the smartest person in the world. You still have to interact and deal and convince the rest of the people who may not know anything you're talking about and who may not understand, because the stuff that such people understand, it's insane. It's a rabbit hole because they've studied decades sometimes learning this stuff. So obviously you can't just convey or explain something like that in a 10-minute, an hour conversation or a 1-year course. It's crazy sometimes thinking about how some of this knowledge is so complex. It's such a huge informational structure that the only way to understand it is to literally study it, sit and study these textbooks for years until you get it. This is how complex the world is.